back. WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore positive. It says so right here on the skin. It has taken me too long to get out here. I have promised the Maryland Lottery that I was going to let myself play during the month of October. We canceled once. We canceled twice. We're here. We're at Nick's Grandstand Grill. It's all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. We're letting ourselves play. We're going to be with our mayor, Brandon Scott, on Wednesday at Coco's. And, this is where the argument begins, because I've been knowing Tommy going on 25 years, 26 years, probably like 95, 96. Tommy Chagouris says, you've been with Nick's since birth, literally,
yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's
so
correct.
When I'm talking about crabs and crab cakes, you come at this honest. I don't know how long you've been out here in Timonium, but we're in Timonium. We're at the racetrack. My dad used to come out here. I saw Crack the Sky here 30 years ago, and every year we have Rockin' at the Races out here. And now OTB. I mean, you've really turned this – was this a restaurant before you had it?
Yes, it was. Yeah. High Tops was running it. And
Jimmy Bell.
Jimmy, cool guy, great,
Well, he was on the other end of the racetrack.
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah, so
they had all of them over there. Ray Lewis, Flacco, all that back in the day, right?
Oh yeah. So then I found out that it was available through a friend of mine. He just sends me a text and he says, "Hey, the Maryland State Fair is looking for somebody to take over the restaurant."
The space.
The space. Yeah. I guess Jimmy had enough of it. He's busy over there.
Of course.
And I understood that.
Well, he's running around doing catering with Buffett.
He's all over.
Travis Tritt and whoever else he's runs around with.
He's fabulous. He's a great guy. Anyway, so I said, I got to check this place
Toby
out.
Keith. I got the wrong. I don't know. I hate all of it. It's terrible country music. God bless all of you.
Yeah, so I get this text, and I'm thinking, I live right up in Cockeysville. I know nothing about this place, and I said,
What were you doing? Now, so I know you. Anybody that knows you, anybody that's ever slurped an oyster or had a pound of shrimp or had sushi down at the foot of what is now the Watershed, not the Chop Tank. I get the names mixed up. Cross Street, everybody knows that you were
35 years.
35 years on Cross Street. From what year to what? When did that end?
19. It ended in 2005.
You've been gone a long time.
I'm sorry, 2008.
8.
I sold Cross Street.
Okay.
Yeah, sold Nick's Fish House in 2015. But I started. My father bought into Cross Street in 1970. So I was hopping when I was going to Northern High School.
So you're a real Baltimore guy.
I'm a Baltimore guy.
You grew up in the city.
Grew up in the city. I actually spent the 70s at Hollins Market. My father had a fish stall in Hollins Market, so I spent...
Man, in the 70s, the markets, right? I was at Lexington Market Wednesday, right? Like, you're a market guy. When I tell you I'm at Fadley's, that's after your heart, right? Like, that's where it's at, right?
My father, my brothers all worked at Fadley's. I was the only one in the family that ever worked there.
You steal the rest? I don't know now. I got, this is a crab cake tour.
Yeah,
I'm going to have a crab cake.
Yeah,
I'm going to have a crab cake.
Yes.
So 08 you leave. When did you come in here?
I came here 2 years ago. So in between, I was the director of seafood for Klein's ShopRite Markets. Then I took a position at Martin Seafood. I was at the J.J. McDonald Company, and then I'm at E. Goodwin and Sons, and I still sell seafood for E. Goodwin.
Same crab cake all the way?
All the way.
Oh, you've never done it any other way?
You know what? When I took over, when my dad passed away, 1987, I took over the market. And so I started doing some experiments and talking to different chefs, and I said, look, we're in Baltimore, okay? I don't want that crab. I said, I want a Baltimore crab cake.
What does that mean to you? Because I began this tour. I'm from East Baltimore, and I've really learned a lot about crab cakes.
Sure.
They're all different.
They are.
I mean, and that really... At the heart of doing this conversation, learning about people and selling lottery tickets and having a good time and bringing sponsors on and meeting old friends, I had no idea because I've eaten a million crab cakes in a million places. And a lot of places I just wouldn't order a crab cake because I've said this, I've done business so long with The Barn, with Costas's, with, just places where they would send me crab cakes to the studio. I would eat them on the air, and then I don't crave it for. So if I'm in Costas, I'm probably getting crabs. If I'm in The Barn, I'm definitely probably getting crabs. I'm talking 25 years ago, where the crab cake thing, I took it for granted.
Sure.
And then I would go out, and I just wouldn't. order, maybe at Angelina's.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
someplace like that. But
Yeah.
I ate in your stall. I moved downtown in 3, so you were there the first 5 or 6 years. I ate sushi in your place, and sometimes over at McGurk's. There was a guy named Rich that made this delicious shrimp tempura roll. But I ate your rolls all the time. But I ate
That's our
sushi
special
at your
today.
place.
That's our special today.
Shrimp tempura roll?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have one. Give me one of those. I'll do that for old time's sake.
Yeah.
But I never had a crab cake at your place. And I don't know that I ever had crabs there because I just didn't get crabs from you. I got
Sure.
sushi from you.
That's
That's what I did.
I get
you
that.
know? And
I'm the
so
same way.
You pigeonhole. You get the same thing. So this crab cake tour is taking me places. I mean, like I'm going to Ruth's Chris next month. I mean, I guess I've had a crab cake there once 20 years ago, but I get a steak when I'm at Ruth's Chris.
Right.
You know, I just don't get it.
No, I'm the same way.
So your place, crab cakes at Cross Street, I wouldn't think of. Now, at your seafood house down at the foot of the city, that felt more like a place I would get a crab cake.
But you know what? At the market, what was really cool and what really launched us is that we were making the crab cakes right in front of everybody.
Okay.
So they were watching us, and they saw the crab meat that we were using. It's a big thing. Listen,
Don't tell me. Steve Villeneuve's a mutual friend.
so whatever crab meat you're putting in that crab cake is making the difference. Okay.
So if your cans are coming in from China and you're getting the good stuff, oh, that's not the good stuff. Oh, all right. Right. And you can taste the difference.
You can taste the
I
difference.
can taste the difference now.
Sure.
And I don't have the palate you have where you've been in the seafood business 50 years. But over the last couple of years, I started to discern, and when I came up with this idea that it would become something where I could come to your beautiful OTB with a Maryland flag here, we got guys betting on races, gals betting on races. You had Journey playing when I came in, then Styx came on, so and then Air Supply, but we're not going to talk about that.
No.
But, for the crab cake sandwich to be our state thing, and for everybody to make it different. So you said something. You're like, I want a Baltimore crab cake.
Right.
What's a Baltimore crab cake?
Okay. First off, growing up in the 70s in the markets, you
Crackers and mustard?
well, that's kind of the codfish cake.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I actually like mustard with my crab cake. Yeah, I'd like mustard.
When I was a kid at Memorial Stadium, next to the Leaning Tower of Pizza, they would serve a crab cake there that was a fried East Baltimore, probably a lot of claw meat, special, whatever. It was nothing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Gucci crab cake,
No,
but
no.
it came with mustard and it came with crackers.
And guess what? That sounds damn good to me.
And a lot of Old Bay. See, I grew up poor in Dundalk, so we didn't have jumbo lump and like all that. My mom killed it with Worcestershire, French's mustard, mayonnaise,
Yeah.
and then celery seed, and then Old Bayed it all up and fried the hell out of it. And there we go. And
Okay.
so what I'm saying is I have a cheap man's taste. You know what I mean? I have a Ropa Vieja taste, but a filet mignon heart. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's pretty much, and I'll say it real quick, what my ingredients are. Okay? And again, I talked to some different people.
You breadcrumbs, you crackers. That's first thing.
I use crackers.
Okay.
I crush the crackers.
Okay.
Okay.
Saltines?
Saltines.
Okay.
Mayonnaise, egg, Old Bay, dry mustard.
Dry mustard. A lot of folks will go with a Dijon.
And I do a little bit of Gouldens.
Okay, you do a little Gouldens. Okay.
With the dry mustard.
Okay.
Okay. Little
Now
bit
you
of,
have French's on the table here.
Yeah.
So I've never eaten French. I hate French's mustard. I've
Really?
never in my life put it on a hot. You know what? Sometimes it sneaks on a hamburger at McDonald's and I'll eat it, but only you know what I mean. But I would never. I won't even touch the tube. That's how I feel about mustard.
I'm a mustard guy. I like mustard. So, but anyway, I think the other thing is Worcestershire sauce. And, of course, the crab meat's got to be the right crab meat. Now, I'm here at the Maryland State Fair. I better be putting the right crab meat in my crab cake, okay? So
Are you mandated to buy Maryland? Or, you can't buy Maryland all year.
No, you can't. Okay, and I'm going to
can't.
explain that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, with all these other different variations of crab meat that's out there, it's like there's some of them that are totally off limits in my kitchen. So here's what I'm about to tell you. So when Maryland's not available, what's the absolute closest to Maryland is Carolina. I got to tell you, Carolina crab meat, absolutely delicious.
Well, you're getting further north with the brininess of the water that these crabs live in. And if they're living in water in Florida, Texas, Louisiana, it's just They taste different.
They taste different. But so now it's like, all right, so when Carolina's not available, what am I going to do? Okay, well, I'm going to try to bring in a Louisiana, something from down there. It's got to be steamed. That's the other thing. Some crab meat is boiled, and other crab meat is steamed. I always stick with steamed. I never go with the boiled.
Well, it'll be mushy.
It'll be mushy. And so that's that. Okay, now, how about when none of that's available?
Venezuela, my people.
Venezuela, it's the same species of crab as our blue crab. It's the same crab.
Well, my people are from Maracaibo, Venezuela. So
cool.
Lake Maracaibo,
yeah.
My family's from there. It's the only other place in the world that has our crab.
That's right.
And they've crabbed the hell out of that lake down there. And the one thing about that lake is it used to have bigger crabs, right? And they also it's 90 degrees. It's on the equator. So
now, but what's good about what they do is they have their seasons of conservation. They were on conservation for a couple of months. They just opened up just now. Okay.
And this changes the pricing
of the
crab meat.
Yes, it does.
Now, I talked to Damian Fadley. She brought her crab cake prices down $3 a crab cake because everybody had to raise them. And everybody, every person I know, I'm going to be with Nick and Pete over at Costas. I mean, every person I know in June when crab meat went from $18, $23 to $48, $55 a pound, it changed everything for everybody, for every restaurant that's in this business.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And a whole lot of them took it off the menu.
I was in Tillman Island, surrounded by crabs, right? I'm in Tillman Island, out of St. Michael's. I could not buy a crab cake in the month of August. I wanted to feature Tillman Island, to go down there and get a crab.
Yeah, of course.
There's 4 places down there that are traditional.
Yeah.
Jimmy Schwartz, my dear friend from, former football coach, or still football coach with the Titans, former Eagles coach, former head coach of the Lions. He summers down there, and he and his wife, Kathy, said, there are no crab cakes here. Like, I know you're on the crab cake tour, but you better make sure they have crab cakes. What happened here with you? I mean, you had to raise the prices, right?
Well, we took them off the menu for a while.
Okay.
Then, as people were like, hey, we really want a crab cake. We brought them in, and, everybody, by that time, the news was out there, and everybody knew the situation. So putting a higher price on the crab cake, it wasn't like sticker shock, okay?
Right,
they were expecting it. Everybody knew it. All right, so
I knew it going around the Eastern Shore in August. There were signs on every door. We're using real meat. We had to upcharge $3 for the salad, $5 for the crab cake, whatever it is, portion. And everybody knows, it's coming a pound.
Yep.
If you got a quarter pound of a crab cake, take 55.
Well,
get a quarter of that, and all of a sudden it's got $15 in cost to you.
Exactly. Oh yeah. So anyway, we didn't really raise them
the way you should have or could have.
That's right.
Right.
And it worked out good.
People drank more beer.
Hey, guess what? I'm still building this business. It's like this is.
Well, tell me, but Tommy Chagouris here. We're doing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour, and I have my mask. And if Brandon Scott needs me to wear it on Wednesday, I will. I'm in the city. It's fine. We're going to be at Coco's on Wednesday. We're going to be on Black Friday. We're at Conrad's Crabs in Abingdon, and then on the 3rd of December, we're at Pappas's here in Cockeysville, just north of here. We're in Timonium today. I'm going to be joined by Leonard Raskin, my friend Mike Roosevelt's coming. I've been to this space a handful of times, okay, for Rockin' at the Races. I was here. There was a lovely, my friend Kathy Timpson had a LinkedIn seminar here on LinkedIn marketing and whatnot, and I sat right here. It was like a school.
Cool.
On a 9:30 in the morning one day I was out here. Tell me about this space and your involvement, and you say you've been 3 years, 4 years? 2 years.
2019.
All right, so we're working on 3.
Yeah. Yes, no, I get this text. I find out the space is available. I said, give me a contact. I send an email to the contact with my resume. I get a phone call. Hey, we want to meet you. I come out here. I met with Andy Cashman, the general manager of the Maryland State Fair, and his assistant, Dave Gordon. And I walk in. We were outside of the OTB, and I want to see this space.
Tell me about the OTB in the restaurant. Not the same thing or different?
Different. OTB, that is the number 1 OTB in Maryland.
Okay.
So, I really didn't know too much about it. I looked at
You were a pony guy or not a pony guy?
I'm not a pony guy.
Not a pony guy. Okay, fair enough.
But so they walk me through the OTB. I'm checking it out, and I'm like, wow, this is a cool scene. And I walked into this space, and I said, this is a crab house.
Right.
As soon as I said, this is a crab house. I'm interested. I saw it, and I said, I'm interested. So we start meeting, and at this point, it's getting a little closer to the Maryland State Fair. And, they're getting a little antsy with me. It's like, hey, Tom, let's get this thing moving because we really want you in here for the fair. And so we
10 busiest days of summer.
I'm
right
telling
here.
you what,
Right.
It was the most fun I've had. It was just like being in Cross Street Market when there was a home football game.
People coming through. People
it was
circling
fabulous.
through.
It was fabulous. And you walk right out my door. Here's the track.
Right.
I was like, this was a whole new scene to me, Nestor, because I'm a Baltimore City guy.
But you've lived up here for a while.
I've lived up here for 15 years.
Right.
But I got to tell you, I never went to the track. I never did it. So it's like, okay, guess what?
You're too busy shucking oysters.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it is.
So anyway, thank you. I'm like, you know something? I think there's going to be some really cool synergy here with the track, with the OTB, with seafood. Guess what?
Right off of 83, right
It's
between
great.
Padonia and Timonium Road. A couple clients said, where is this? It's a track. Where's the track? Just look for the Nick sign and find it. And, of course, Nick was your dad,
Nick
right?
was my dad.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, it's like, so I did what I did, at Cross Street. This is what I do, okay?
So you bet over here, and then you come over here and get a crab cake.
Yeah, but you can bet here. You see, they have the little these things here, and you can put your bets.
So my
in
friend
here.
at Greenmount Station, Chris Lombardi, Chris up at Greenmount Station,
Yeah.
he has
an OTB.
An OTB. I met Chris Lombardi here. I'm mixing my
really?
Chris's up. Well, Liquor Chris he was here for Rockin' at the Races.
Oh,
so we were
okay,
hanging
yeah,
out.
right.
Yeah, I literally sat here and had sushi with him at about 3 weeks ago. So I love you, Chris. A cool see. One of my original listeners. So Chris up at Greenmount Station, Chris Richards, has an OTB as well. And, I had John Martin on the show today from the Maryland Lottery and Racing. John's on all the time. And we're trying to get everything sort of up and running on the casino side. And we're trying to get the Horseshoe right and MGM Live, Hollywood, all that stuff. But you come here, that this, at some point, will be a sports casino at 2, right? Or
Yes.
there's a licensing involved in that.
They're right, and they're working on that. It's getting real close.
I
And
talked to
that's
John
gonna be
about it
the
all the
spot.
time.
That's going to be the space right here.
Okay, now you're teaching me things.
Yes.
Okay.
So DraftKings and the Maryland State Fair, the board, they're working all that out.
So they're going to be eating your crab cake?
They're going to beat my crab cake.
I have not had his crab cake. That's why I'm out here at Nick's Grandstand Grill. So tell me more about the menu and stuff, because it's not just crab. This is, when you say crab house, and I saw crabs the minute I walked up here.
Oh, yeah. We got beautiful crabs.
You got crabs.
Beautiful crabs. Oh, yeah. And that's we're starting to build that
This
business.
is the time of year for beautiful crabs.
They're
People
beautiful.
don't know that.
Oh, yeah. So, but you know what? Right now, it's Maryland's starting to
starting
drop
to roll.
off.
Yeah, right.
Okay, those guys are pulling their pots, and they're starting to oyster. They're bringing oysters in now. But, the
You got
crab-
oysters here today, too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You do Rockefeller oysters?
You know what? I do that on specials. I don't do that. It's not on the menu.
Okay.
But, we'll throw that out on a special once in a while on a Sunday or, on the weekend. But, yeah.
That's the way I like them.
I love it.
Wait, once I went down to New Orleans and I had them grilled, char grilled. After I like them raw, and you bring them over, I'll eat them. I love oysters, no problem with that. I love all seafood. So for you with the crab cake and this simple recipe, your dad's recipe?
No.
It's yours.
It's mine. My dad was, and even, see, I still refer to myself as a fishmonger because I've sold fresh fish. I'm a fish cleaner.
You're a market guy.
I'm a market guy.
Okay.
I really became kind of a restaurateur when we did Nick's Fish House. My partners and I, we built that out, and, that was a restaurant.
What do you have here on the raw? Like, I obviously recognize the oysters here. Sushi was probably something nobody grew up in Baltimore with sushi, right? Sushi was something I'd never eaten in my life till 1990.
Nestor, this one day, this gentleman comes up to me, big smile on his face. He goes, Mr. Tommy. I said, just call me Tommy. He said, my name is, that was.
Don't pull your microphone down on me. We're on a radio show. Oh, I can't remember the name. Go ahead.
Anyway, so he goes, I'd like to talk to you about putting a sushi bar in here. And I was like, it'll never work. I said, this is people come into a market for a chili hot dog, and I said, I'm not interested. And I walked away from him. He comes back the following week, big smile on his face. Did you think about the sushi bar? I said, no. And I walked away from him. He comes back third week in a row, big smile on his face. He goes, hey, Mr. Tommy. He goes, can we talk about the sushi bar? And I said, let's talk about the sushi bar. And we talked about the sushi bar.
Was it a hit right away?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't a hit right away, but you know why?
I know
I
you
didn't
for
really
sushi.
push.
It's weird.
I didn't really push it. I gave him a real little spot in Cross Street Market. Then all of a sudden, I saw him working. I saw how he handled the knives. I saw how he handled the fish. And let me tell you, when you're working with sushi, you know, it's got to be thin. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be super fresh. Everything about it. It's real. It's immaculate how he.
It's an art form.
It's an art form. It's beautiful. So anyway, I kept my mouth shut, and I let him do the talking and the working, and I realized how wrong I was. And then eventually I gave him a huge space in Cross Street.
Well, I mean, the pencils, the forms, filling it out. That's what when I think of your place at Cross Street Market, I think that's where I went for sushi.
Yeah.
Often. Tommy's here. We're at Nick's Grandstand Grill. It's all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. We're letting ourselves play. We're getting a crab cake. Have we put the order on? Come on over. We're going to order a crab cake. Oh, we're going to talk sushi? What are we going to do? I don't know what we're doing here. I'm going to tell you.
She's coming over right now. We'll give her the order.
Oh, we're going to put the order in for the crab
yes.
cake. All right.
Yeah.
I thought we did that before we started. So
No.
we'll take a break, though. That's fine, man.
Okay.
Let's me use the bathroom if we do that. So what are we ordering here? Let's order
here's
something.
what
I'll
we're
take a
gonna
break.
do. We're going to start off. Hey, Daria, get over. Yeah, come on.
No, you're in the camera. Yeah, we got to order.
Of course
That's
we want
fine.
you on here.
I can put you in a headset if you want.
So start us off with a little cup of the corn and crab chowder.
Ooh.
Okay.
Soup.
Only because it's so good.
It's winter day.
I know.
Perfect.
Anyway, start us off with a cup of that. Then we're also going to have a crab cake platter, some fries and coleslaw. Okay.
Perfect.
And then
what
after
my
we
aunt liked
eat that, we'll do sushi. But in the meantime, you can just start us off with the 2 chowders and the 2 crab cake platters.
Nice. We'll take a break. We're at a Nick's Grandstand Grill. How do you get here? You just get off Timonium Road. Come to the racetrack. Come on out here. It's beautiful. Casino's coming. OTB's here. I'm here. Friends are going to be here. We're going to have a Maryland crab cake. Stay with us. It is the Maryland Crab Cake Tour presented by the Maryland Lottery. Let yourself play. We are BaltimorePositive.com.